Of what I want to discuss was talking about the coronavirus and the whole new wave of racism that this thing has brought. And my husband's a little bit tired of hearing me complain about it, so he said I need to go and sit here and say what I have to say because it's important. With this corona, firstly, there's a couple of things that I want to address, and I would like to start with this, with China and the coronavirus. We know that that's where this thing originated from. And we know that they lied about it. They lied about where it started, how it started, and when it started. We know for a fact that it started at least 6 weeks before they actually told the world. So they knew, and they were running. They spread. They fled from Wuhan, and this thing took on an epic proportion of infections. So China. Look, I'm not a racist person, okay, but I will call it as I see it. China, being a communist party and a communist country, they don't speak the truth even to their own people, okay? So they don't know what's going on the rest of the world either. The reason I'm mentioning racism is because it's not just racism against, you'll hear the Chinese people now calling racism because everybody's questioning China. People are staying away from Chinese people and all of those things. And quite frankly, I don't think they have any ground to stand on when they call racism. You have got a country calling racism while they are kicking Africans out of their homes in China. So who is racist here? Chinese are living in Africa, and you are kicking Africans out of their homes in China and accusing them, those who are not infected, I might add, of being the ones who bring this coronavirus to China. Coronavirus came from China. It came from Chinese people. Whether it came from some stupid person eating a bat or whether it came from a lab which is down the road from the Wuhan province and the wet markets, which is an infestation ground for disease and viruses and sicknesses and illnesses and things like that. So what we have is a country of people whose government don't speak the truth, a country of people who, I'm telling you now, for the majority, dislike Africans. They do not like black people. They don't even like black Chinese, okay? If you are a Chinese person and you work out in the field and you are dark-skinned, even that one, they have no interest in you. But the racism that I have seen against blacks from Chinese is of epic proportion. My own husband is a black man. I have seen them hold their nose when we walk past. I have seen them get off of elevators when we get on. I have seen them frantically hit the close button on an elevator so that the door will close before this man can step on. I have seen them hold their bags and purses as close to themselves as they possibly can because they think as a black man he's going to rob them. We're not going to rob you. We don't need anything you have. These people don't like blacks. They don't like them at all. And there is more than one reason as to why that they are in Africa, okay? They are in Africa not just for your gold, not just for your minerals, not just for these things, okay? By the year 2050, the population of China is going to be so much so that there is not going to be enough room left in China for them. They want your country and they don't want you in it, okay? We are talking about people who hold their nose when you walk past and now they're sending a vaccine. What vaccine? They haven't created a vaccine. No country has created a vaccine yet. There is none. We wake up here every day and we check the news because we want a vaccine. The countries are in a battle around the world to see who will create the first vaccine. There is no vaccine. So whatever the hell they have sent to Africa, I believe Senegal, if I'm correct, whatever they have sent there is not a vaccine for coronavirus. Okay? What vaccine has ever been sent to Africa that did Africa any good? Zero. I'm telling you, none. We gave you HIV. For those who don't believe that, there is a movie. Go and find it. There's a documentary. Okay? The guy in the documentary, his own family also worked for the people that created this HIV virus in a lab and sent it to a vaccination center where you people were lined up like cattle at a way station to be infected with this. I'm telling you, this thing that has arrived in Africa has already killed 7 children, okay? It is not a vaccine for coronavirus. Ebola came out of Africa. Not one single white man died of Ebola. Any white man that got infected with Ebola was flown out of Africa into a white man's hospital and cured. Did we send any cure to Africa? If there was a vaccine for coronavirus, we'd have it. We'd be saving us. There are thousands of people dying in Italy, America, China, despite the fact that they would have you believe that they've fixed it, because they haven't. It's a load of crap. If there was a vaccine that could save lives against this coronavirus, COVID-19, we'd have it here. It wouldn't be getting sent to Africa, okay? The reason those French doctors, for lack of a better word, or because I don't want to swear, those French morons who sat there and said, let's go and test this thing in Africa, there is a reason that they made those comments. They don't have a vaccine to test, okay? And if they were coming to test it, they wouldn't tell you they were coming to test it. The reason those French